The 4 most neglected UX patterns in SaaS are also the easiest to fix. And you can knock them out in under an hour with AI. The last one is my favorite, so stick around. Hey, my name is Dianne and I am the founder of The Design Project. I have been a designer for Crocs and Mercedes-Benz. I've been a solo designer for 5 SaaS startups. And today we work with over 50 B2B SaaS teams shipping products faster. Some of them have been acquired by Slack, NVIDIA, and MrBeast. Pattern 1, meaningful empty states. So I'm sure this is something happening to you. You open a new page of a dashboard or you're trying a new feature and you just get a screen with a bunch of form fields or blank spaces. And you're left wondering, what do I do? How do I move forward? How do I get started? I'm going to use Slack as an example. So I'm going to share my screen. So what used to happen is when you started a new channel in Slack, you would basically get this, right? Invited and no one would say anything and you would just be pushed into a channel. Now you can create a channel and they give you ways of templatizing. So you're not starting from scratch, right? This is super powerful and something that you guys can do in your own product. Empty states reduce time to value by 30%. 60% of new users abandon products on the first use because they don't know what to do next. Here's some low-hanging fruit quick fixes. A quick explainer or example. For instance, if you have a name form field, you can add an example, Johnny Appleseed, instead of leaving it completely blank. And that's going to trigger the user to know how to input, what to input into that field. Creating visual hierarchy, so making sure the user knows what's most important and most prominent to fill in first. Create one primary action button. Get started. Create your first project. You can do this with AI. In your product, if your team is using Claude Code, you can literally prompt, write an empty state message for input field name, make it less than 15 words. And there you go. Solved. When you need to bring on a designer, you're building something really complex and maybe it's an onboarding feature and there's many form fields, there's many ways of setting up a new page. The complexity means that you should probably bring on a design expert that can help rethink that UX experience. Bring on that designer to help with that progressive onboarding to create an easier walkthrough where that user doesn't abandon. Pattern number 2, undo in bulk operations. I see this all the time. SaaS products are usually built for the first 10 columns, not what if I have 10,000 columns? How do I do bulk operations on them? Gmail has struggled at this for years. I'm going to show an example of good and bad. So here you see my Gmail. And right now I can select 5 and then I don't know how to do something with these 5. I have to right click. So it's a little hidden, right? Now let's look at Asana. I can select a few here and you see this pops up. So it's telling me how I can bulk edit these selections or if I select all of them. This is great because it's right in front of you. 40% of users abandon tasks that require one-on-one repetitive actions. Low-hanging fruit is what you saw in the example. Literally put a checkbox at the top of all of the columns so a user could select all of them at once and make sure that you're surfacing those actions that the user can take. Also, super important is undo. Make sure that when you do a bulk operation, you have a toast or something so a user knows that they can easily undo and they don't feel that pressure of, oh my gosh, I'm about to make this really big change to a ton of my content. How to use AI. If you already have a design system and notification pattern, it's really easy for your devs to go and apply this directly to the product. When you need a designer is when there's a lot of options for bulk operations. Let's say you have the option to move, to change the name, to provide multiple options. That's usually where a designer would have to think a little bit deeper about the patterns. You need a designer when there's a lot of use cases for these bulk actions, such as you can select a few and then you can move them. You can put them into multiple categories. You could change the name. The more complex, more options. You might want to bring in a designer to do a little bit more deep thinking about this. Pattern number 3, inline contextual help. On a lot of SaaS products, the content is complex. It might not make sense what you're asking the user to do, and you might need to give more information. I'm going to give you an example of bad. Let's look at AWS. AWS, it is for a technical user, right? But they've tried to solve this how-to help by actually creating a separate page. So now the user has to navigate between this help page and the actual console. Contextual help reduces support tickets by 25%. So some low-hanging fruit, info icon. Put an I, a hover state. Users can get that information right there on the page. Learn more section. A user can click it, it expands, it gives the user more information. Smart placeholder text. Instead of saying API key, say API key, parentheses, settings integration. So the user knows exactly where to get that information. How AI can help here is to write those tooltips, to write that extra context information. Prompt it, and you'll get some great results. When you need a designer, again, when it's more complex, when probably something like AWS where you do need a guided tour somewhere to really help the user understand how to navigate through this information and serve them the context when they need it. Pattern number 5, clear error recovery. This is one that I think is really missed the most. How many times have you tried to log into a product or you're using a product and you get a random error and you can't figure out what to do next? The fix is to give more information. So this is a little bit more complex for your team because instead of just getting a random error, you would have to pinpoint what the error is from so that you can give that user that context so that they understand what they need to do to fix it. Clear error messaging can reduce support tickets by 30% and reduce frustrations that lead to churn. This can show up as form validation errors. For instance, if you forget to put your name in a form field that's required, just say error, name field not entered. This shows up everywhere. Form field errors. This is a really common one. Let's say you get to the end of a form field and then you hit submit and you get an error, but you don't know where the error is from. Easy fixes are just to say error didn't input name field, for instance. So the user could go back up. They know exactly where to go to fix that problem. API failures is the big one. If you just communicate that it's an API failure, at least the user won't be scrambling to be like, oh my gosh, what did I do wrong? Upload failures happens all the time. Just make it more clear. Maybe the file needs to be less than 3 megabytes. Make that very clear. Hey, this needs to be less than 3 megabytes. The formula to fix it is to communicate what went wrong, why it happened, and how to fix it. You can use AI. You put in that structure that I just said and put in what the error is that you need to create it for, and it'll build it for you. This is perfect for AI. You can say, rewrite this error message, and again, use the formula, what went wrong, why it happened, how to fix it, and you get that output. Your devs can do it as well. You can plug it in easily. When you need a designer is when there's multiple errors that can happen on a page, and maybe you need a better way of communicating instead of a bulk, hey, these are all the things that went wrong. That's when you can bring on a designer. So there you have it. 4 low-hanging fruit UX patterns. 1, meaningful empty states. 2, undo and bulk operations. 3, inline contextual help. 4, clear error recovery. My challenge for you this week is to pick one of these, audit your product, find the worst example of it, and fix it. This you could knock out in a couple hours with AI. If you want help implementing these across your entire team, or you want to see more of how a designer would think through these problems, or how a designer would use AI in the real world to ship products, reach out. I would love to chat. Thank you. See you in the next episode.